Hey everybody, this is Kyle, aka Vulcan Wolverine, and it's about 6 a.m. on February 23rd, 2021. Just had a birthday on the 21st, and I feel pretty old. I feel really old. 31 it's a tough age to reach. You've gotten over that 30, and then it's like you're kind of in the 30s. I'm way older than that. I hope everybody's hanging in there. This stuff is really rough. It's getting pretty dark for me. But somebody sent this to me, and I wanted to make a short video about it. This is a model questionnaire from the UN Special Office of the Special Rapporteur, Office of Niels Melzer. So, model questionnaire to be completed by persons alleging torture or their representatives. So I think this is a good idea. There's a lot of other stuff too. There's a lot of other petitions, petitions to Congress and stuff going on now. I'm going to go over those in later videos. Try and, if anybody can send me stuff that we can participate in and send all of our voices out, our testimonies. That's what we really need. Excuse me. I feel I'm like really, really sick. I know some of you, maybe you get that, like the remote neural manipulation is so bad you can't stop moving. You just don't feel comfortable. It's a lot worse than that, but like, those are the kind of the level feelings. Um, okay, so let's go through this. I hope everybody's like surviving and thriving. I'm kind of surviving, trying to get into the thriving, trying to just not lose my mind. I think a lot of you guys are with me. But there's a lot of hopeful stuff, so I want to try and remain hopeful, not get too depressing on these videos about like my personal circumstance. Okay, so model questionnaire to be completed by persons alleging torture or their representatives. Information on the torture of a person should be transmitted to the special rapporteur in written form and sent to this address, or we can just email it. I'm going to email mine to this urgent action at ohchr.org. I'm going to put this. You can see the link at the top to get to this page, and I don't know. I was thinking like maybe let me look at it. We're gonna kind of just go through it real quick, but I was thinking maybe what I might do is a live stream. Copy all this, paste it on a Word document. We could go through some of the questions. I'm not sure. There may be some questions that are maybe too personal. I wouldn't want to do in a live stream, so that would be the only reason I wouldn't. But so although it is important to provide as much detail as possible, the lack of a comprehensive accounting should not necessarily preclude the submission of reports. However, the special rapporteur can only deal with clearly identified individual cases containing the following minimum elements of information. So, if you don't answer all the questions perfectly right, which would be a thing for us, because check it out, full name of the victim, date on which the incidents of torture occurred, it would 24 hours a day since, I mean, I guess that I would probably say like 2011 the overt torture started for me, so that's what I would probably put on this. The more confusing element of the targeting is it could have been going on a lot longer than that, before 2011. Um, but then, okay, so C, place where the person was seized, right? So they're talking about somebody getting seized and like being brought to Guantanamo or some prison in another country. But for us, it would be like we weren't seized, we weren't grabbed. We were, tortured by remote microwaves 24 hours a day wherever we go because it's remote torture, right? Um, and he's, Niels Melzer has gotten many, many testimonies from targeted individuals. I just think we need to send in a lot more. And the thing is, like, I think that he recently spoke at a Human Rights Council, but if somebody has that, can you please, if you have a link to it, can you please put it in the comments or send it to me at my email address, vulcanwolverine@gmail.com. The thing is, though, I'm not sure if there's anything coming up. Like, I don't know if he's like, if there's some kind of assembly to reference these new testimonies at a general assembly or something at the UN. I'm not really sure about that, but I think this would be a good idea if we just, get that metal pole and stick it in the gears as hard as we can. And I think a lot of testimonies sent to this office can do that. So, place where the person was seized, we would just say like, began being remotely tortured and gang stalked and harassed, and it's everywhere. I would mention that I've moved, five, yeah, I think just 5 times. I don't think 6 times, but I would mention that I moved 5 times, and it followed me everywhere I went because the microwave torture is remote. They may put people around you or whatever. In my case, I know the last 3 places that I moved to, they didn't do that. At least the house that burned down, my ex-military neighbor may have participated with supplemental ground weapons. But okay, I'm getting kind of off course. Okay, so we would kind of have to change things up for some of these questions. D is indication of the forces carrying out the torture. I think we would maybe say something, it is contractors under intelligence agencies or the DOD, but we'd maybe, I don't know, I think it'd be a good idea for me to go over and write some things so you guys can get some ideas, but then kind of if you want to put something that I'm not putting, but I would probably put like, I would say like, contractors within the military industrial complex and intelligence agencies within the military and industrial complex, such as the NSA, CIA, DIA. And I'm kind of, I'm pretty sure that my torturers work for a contractor under the NSA, but I'm not 100% sure. So we maybe want to, if you are sure, go ahead and put it. I don't think that would matter as long as they know that it's the military industrial complex, agencies like that. I feel really, really, really horrible. It's why I haven't made a live stream in a while. But this is really important. I'm not sure if there's something coming up. If somebody, if Niels Melzer is going to speak at the UN, in accordance with these new testimonies, somebody please let me know, and I'll mention it on a live stream or do a video about it. And then if you do have, because I did write, I mentioned this, like he spoke at a Human Rights Council, and I wanted to get what he had said at the Human Rights Council. Okay, so description of the form of torture used and any injury suffered as a result. So I mean that's pretty easy, damage to the body, fatigue, brain injury, destruction of ability to go to a job, heat on the burning on the skin. My biggest thing right now is like I feel like I have Alzheimer's sometimes. Like I will do something and completely forget it. So I think that my attackers, this is what I think, is that whenever I am looking at anything or listening to somebody, my attackers right now, the human operators, are playing around with when you see something or hear something, your short-term memory stores it, and they're messing around with my short-term memory. So it's like people will tell me stuff, and it won't process into my long-term memory. Yeah, that's what I think is happening, but they're messing with my brain so much. I'm not quite sure everything they're doing because they're doing so much stuff with frequencies to my brain. My brain is just like my head, and my brain is flooded with frequencies. If I stay on Dave Case's CD, it's a lot better. But if I miss like 2 days of that, my body feels a lot more squeezing on the inside, stuff like that. It could make me have to use the bathroom more and like give me that suffocating feeling, which is it's really worrisome to me because my grandmother cannot breathe without the oxygen now. And then my attackers are making it so it's harder for me to breathe, which they don't really focus on that a lot. But since she's going through that, they've decided to do that to me, so I'm like, are they doing that to my grandmother? Are they torturing her and experimenting on her, while she's, while she's fighting for her life, I guess is the way to say it, even though she is getting older. Um, okay, so E, description of the form of torture. Like right now, I'm having trouble reading. Give me 1 second, guys. Let me smoke some of this vape into my lungs. Oh, I just haven't been doing good. We're gonna say a prayer at the end of this. There's so much information coming out, guys. I think that's the reason I'm not doing so well, because my attackers know that I want to go at it. There's so much good information. There's so much stuff that we could participate in to get this stuff going, and they just hurt me so bad. Like when I do a live stream, they're making me super tired, and like it's not just unmotivated. It's like some kind of something they're doing to my brain that just like I can't do. Like I don't know. It's very very hard to explain. But they my attackers have done it to me in the past. But I'm like adrenalized through it, and now I've just been tortured so long. The fences hold some of it back, but it's just like so long that it's. Let me stop complaining. This is good. We need to send this in. We need to push, guys. There's because the thing is, it's like um, all these people attacking us in the military-industrial complex and everything with the weapons. They've got our data and everything. But if these testimonies are in the place where it's like this guy he has to, and I'm trying to think of the word, but he has to. I mean, he has to look into, and that's the because I can't think of words that I want to use. But he has to look into torture. It's his job to look into torture all over the world. And if he's sitting on this stuff, it's like it's a something where something could happen, right? And it could make a lot of our other battles um, actually more successful too. Um, Trouble with words. Okay, into this is so bizarre and dark. We keep fighting. We trust in God. Like I said, man, I still believe it. Even though He slay me, I will trust in Him. It's not God slaying me; it's evil men. But I'm waiting. There's been miracles, but man, I want this to end. I don't see why this should be going on any longer with the technologies in the consumer market. People knowing that there's these capabilities. Um, Besides the fact that we all know we live in a way more cowardly society, where people are kind of more individualistic, and if their life's okay, then they don't really care about the atrocities, or they don't really know about them, or maybe they hear them offhand and they're like, "Oh, that sounds horrible, but I'm not sure about that. Let me go on with my great life." Which nobody's life will be great for much longer. It's not a it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing, but I was just thinking the more bizarre things get, right? And I don't even think um, this is just the beginning. It's just the tip of the iceberg where America is and the world is with this new world order takeover. A little while longer, and a reveal of yeah, citizens have been being tortured in every country with basically wireless energy. It's more powerful directed energy, a more complicated form of getting in tune with the brain than a chip in a cell phone, right? But basically, that idea, people go, huh, figures. I just think that time's coming. I don't think we're going to get the reaction that we want. I think that things will happen, this will come out. But I think at the time it's going to come out, people are just going to be like, they're going to be dealing with so many more bizarre things that they're going to be like, oh yeah, people are being hit. Yeah, I think I've been hit with that stuff, and it's just going to be like, oh yeah, that happened. I don't think I care as long as the torture stops. You know, I've been getting kind of black pilled lately, even with all this really good news coming out. Super depressed from the remote neural manipulation, and it's just gone on so long that I'm like, oh man, this can be right in people's faces. I mean, they could put it, we could cut into a TV signal and get it to everybody's TV, and people would be like, what was that? Oh, can I put on my mask? Can I put on 5 masks? Because I really want to cut off my oxygen supply. You got me 5 masks? Let me wear my masks in my house. Can you, my family member, get like 10 feet away from me? I see people in my condo walking around with the masks, like, and there are people that have gang stalked me, like this really tall guy, and he was in the mailroom, and I wasn't wearing a mask. I don't wear a mask around here anymore. I'm just like, I can't do it. And he's like this big tall guy, and he's gang stalked me before. He's like, hey, what's up, man? He's wearing his little stupid mask. And I'm just like, he's just this compliant butthole. You know, he's going to wear his mask. He's going to do whatever society tells him to. If it tells him to kill his neighbor, he'll do it. You know, or harass his neighbor or whatever, he'll do it. He doesn't care. He's going to do what he has to do, and he does it. But wait till it happens to him, right? That's what all these people, they're not understanding that they're not safe. The people participating in this, it's going to happen to them, but it's going to happen probably even worse than how it happened to us. Um, hopefully the program will just end, right? And things will change. But there's darkness. The new world order is coming in. We just got to be prepared for anything. I think that's the number one piece of advice maybe I could give to other target individuals. We've just got to repair, and we've really got to cling to God in the name of Jesus Christ. We've got to just be not of this world, using resources on this world, right? But then trying to put in what God wants us to put into the world, and pull ourselves out of the system, getting resources that we need to live, helping others to understand how evil it is, and then putting it in God's hands, right? That's a hard thing for me to do. I have that in my heart, but I'm like, we're all dying. I need to do something, right? So it's a little bit harder for me than like, and you guys too, than like a normal person that's not being targeted, who's comfortable and it's like, well, I'll just leave it up to God. You know, when you're dying and other people are dying, and it's like, hey, you know, you get a sense in your heart, like God saying, you gotta do stuff to, you know, to stop this. But then once you throw the rock, right, all my little and Davidettes, Davids and Davidettes, then you leave it up to God. You fling your rocks, and by the grace of God, you know, hopefully they will hit the head of that big giant, and it'll go down one way or another, right? One, even if society does go to a dystopia, which it's like which it's in right now, there's still, God is still in us, and God is still in the world, and God is still everywhere, you know. So we still win. Okay, so I'm having trouble breathing, guys, and I'm in a lot of pain. It's like I'm having trouble swallowing and stuff. And I have a lot of, since I got that tooth out and that infection, like everything's kind of adjusting, and I've got some muscles like over here that are really adjusting. I'm doing okay though. We're alive. We're alive here. We're alive. We're fighting. There's so much good news coming out, guys. So I don't mean, like, if I ever get in depressed mode, you know, because it hurts so bad, um, don't let that hurt your morale, because there's a lot of good stuff happening, and we're strong, and we've got God on our side. You know, we've had many miracles through this. Now it's just a very dark time. It's been a very dark time for. I've had a very rough couple of my lifetime. Okay, so indication of the forces carrying out the torture. And I guess if some people don't know, or don't, they just, you know, covert forces are torturing me with remote microwave weapons, with neuro weapons, with integrated directed energy weapon systems. I'll probably do that. We'll probably do a live stream, a working live stream, and just go through some of these questions and talk about this. Um, I'd like more information. I think there is some stuff coming up, and I think that Niels Melzer did speak at a Human Rights Council, so I need more information on that. But I did want to put out the link so everybody can start sending their testimonies in this way too, and just cram up that office. Just cram, because this is Niels Melzer's most important job. Like, if he's for real and he's really trying to stop torture around the world, this is the worst torture that exists anywhere. You know, the worst torture anywhere. The torture of the mind remotely, harassment, making people look crazy, their families and stuff, destroying their lives. They can't go to work. Just 24 hours a day, like isolation, damaging the brain, injuring the brain, to do all these weird triggers and psychic driving with the V2K. This is his job. This is what he is in there for to do. So, you know, I know a lot of you are just like, man, it's all corrupt. But I think there's a lot of compartmentalization in these huge or like worldwide organizations, even DOD, DOJ, and stuff. They're compartmentalized, so a lot of people have no idea about the big bad, global human experimentation stuff going on. They just can't believe it, and they're kind of in there, but they don't know the whole score, right? Um, so description of the form of torture used in any injury suffered as a result. Identity of the person or organization submitting the report, name and address, which will be kept confidential. So we have to give our name and address. Why do we have to give our address? I don't know that. I guess our attackers have our address. I'm not comfortable with that one. I'd give my name and then maybe my phone number or something like that. But I mean, maybe they need an address to locate, like in what areas it's in. Um, I guess so. I guess I wouldn't care. I'm wary. I'm wary like a lot of you guys, just like giving out a lot of information. I don't trust a lot of things nowadays. Because the system is set up to like lie and to reward people for lying and reward people for being corrupt and stuff. So it's just like it's hard to trust anybody. What I say is trust only in the Force. Star Wars. All right, guys. So additional sheets should be attached where space does not allow for a full rendering of the information requested. Additional sheets should be attached where space does not allow for a full rendering of the information requested. What? Also, copies of any relevant corroborating documents, such as medical or police records. So I put in my DTI. I would talk about that. There's something about like, have you seen any doctors or anything? I've seen dentists and doctors, and I would just mention those things, and then I'd probably put my DTI in there. And that's one thing I'm going to find a neurologist, even if he doesn't know about this stuff. I got to find another neurologist and walk through with him like how damaging this stuff is to the brain and my cognitive thought, and then see if he can give me another DTI. See if things have progressed enough, because I think things will keep progressing, where it won't be this taboo thing where people will start to be like, whoa, this stuff's going on, and then you'll have a doctor here, more doctors kind of popping up trying to help. This is happening, guys. Like, I mean, the targeting's happening. I'm not talking about that, but I'm talking about the progression of people's awareness and stuff like that. And 100% of people in the world are not evil. They want to help, right? But when people are ignorant, they don't have all the information, that can actually be very dangerous. And we've seen that in our torture, right? Mostly more in our harassment than the torture, because the people microwaving us with the integrated directed energy weapon systems are just piles of crap. Like they're not being tricked or anything. They know that they're experimenting and torturing a person, right? Using the automated systems, right? I want to mention that. I have human operators on mine. Some of you guys may have all AI. You may have human operators and AI. I doubt anybody just has human operators. Okay, so identity of the person subject to the torture. What are they asking for? National occupation. Activities. So they are asking for an address. I guess that's pretty logical. I guess that's logical because they just want like a location on where all this stuff is happening, right? I also saw Michael Barden posted something on Twitter where it was like a questionnaire on Facebook about targeted individuals, and it was just from one questionnaire, and it was just like all these dots, all in America, like it was just covering America. It was just for America. It was like a poll for, are you a targeted individual in America? So there's so many people speaking out on Twitter. So many people speaking out on YouTube. They're kind of trying to keep us all separated, but target individuals are communicating and finding each other and everything like that. Um, so I guess I understand the address. I think some people are going to be uncomfortable with that, but like I'm at the point where it's like, I get on right. I get on YouTube, and all you targeted individuals, y'all are remote neural monitored, so your attackers are like looking, or surveilling me, and so I'm out there, right? So I give my address to these people doesn't scare me that much. Um, I think it's actually logical to kind of pinpoint where the tortures happen and stuff like that. So circumstances surrounding torture, date and place of arrest and subsequent torture. We would put like I was never arrested or anything like that. But the torture started in what month was it? It's like in November. It was like the end of 2011, but I think it was maybe October 2011. And maybe it was like March 2011. It was before the summer, and then 2012 of the next year. Yeah, that's about right. It's maybe Mars. Yeah, I don't know. I can't really remember, but somewhere around March 2011. Um, and just say it's remote torture. Wasn't it? It's not. They didn't put me anywhere to torture me. They remotely torture me wherever I go, in my condo, in my car, wherever I go. In a plane to Green Bank, West Virginia, um, on a boat, in a moat. I do not like it. Same I am. All right, guys. So I'm not going to read the rest of them, but I'm going to put the link in the description. Just go through these. I think it's a good idea that all targeted individuals, who are victims of cyber torture, survivors of cyber torture, from integrated directed energy weapon systems, remote microwave torture. I think it's a good idea that we fill this out and we just flood that office. Just keep flooding that office with testimonies. And like I said, there's a lot of petitions, a lot of movement going on about this because just so many people are being hammered with microwaves, like in every country. And the I guess just call it the powers that be keep trying to cover it up, right? Cover it up, but they have to talk about the Cuban embassy attack and some of this other stuff because people would get really suspicious if they didn't. And I think we're rolling on. We're rolling on. My body is just so. I keep thinking. I guess this is not a depressing thought. It's just kind of a weird thought, and it may not happen. But I'm just kind of like, it's gonna be at the point where I can't move and I can't think anymore, and then it's gonna be like changes to this or something like that. I always think that. That's probably not true. Um, Actually, I don't know what's going to happen, guys. I don't know how this is going to go, but I have a strong instinct, a spiritual instinct, a discernment, a God touching my heart and saying that, I'm not going to have to live through this forever. And that means a lot of you guys are not going to have to deal with the torture till you die. I've got a very, very strong, and it comes from a logical looking at the battlefield, right? Looking at everything we've gone through, how things have gone through the years, there's no way. There's no way that it can keep covered up. And there's no way that they can kill all targeted individuals because they're targeting millions of people. So they can't there's going to be changes with this. All right, let's see. So, there's questions like what was believed to be the purpose of the torture, and I would say, experimentation, training, research, and development for the weapon systems, mapping the brain, things like that. I think it would be a good idea, to do a working live stream maybe. I just don't have a lot of energy, and there's a lot of other good information, so that's going to be kind of on the back burner. And then there's some other information that's really important first, and then if I can get to that, I can get to that. We'll kind of see. Describe the methods of torture used, right? So it'd be like streams of energy to the skin, to the groin, to the head, and also high-pitched ringing sound in the ears, also voice to skull, um, ringing in the ears, terrible, terrible headaches. But my feeling with it is this is what it just feels like to me because it's been going on for so long. Then block a certain percentage, but some gets through, and I think there's just some things like optogenetics that I don't know if I'm blocking that because it's like invisible light. So optogenetics would be using photonics, to go straight to the brain, and my attackers are doing that. Okay, I don't remember what I was saying. I don't remember what I was saying at all. Okay, describe the methods of torture. Okay, what I was saying is like to me, like it feels like at this point in my torture, it's just like it's like my brain has been when you work out with weights or something like that, and it's like it doesn't stop, and then the muscles like aren't healing and stuff like so many signals are going to my brain, so many things in my visual cortex, my emotions and everything that are being pumped in artificially, that it's like my brain doesn't have time to heal up or process things, and it's just like a muscle that's just being worked way too much for just ever, right? So I can stop a lot of the body pain and stuff. Which another bad thing is I take like 4 capsules of kratom like 3 times a day, so I can't feel the external hits. For some reason, if I stop taking kratom, then I can feel the external hits, and like the remote neural manipulation is worse. So the kratom is doing something to my brain and my nervous system that's keeping things a little more at bay, right, with the other defenses. But you taking kratom every day, it's been like 4 years. That ain't no good idea. So it's like it just sucks. It sucks dealing with the stuff because you end up doing other stuff for long periods of time that keep you alive, but it's not good to do it for like 4 or 5 years. It's like a 2 year I can buy some time, right? With the chemical shielding, we got to be careful with the chemical shielding. It's like I don't. It's like, oh well, I could stop taking it, but then I'm going to be useless. If I stop taking kratom, I guess I could wait like a month, and I don't know. I'm going to figure that stuff out. I hope you guys are doing. Chemical shielding is good, like the lorazepam, the kratom. I'm taking less Neurontin. I'm taking like one a day, and kind of getting off of it. But then I'll take one just when I need it, when I feel really really bad from the remote neural manipulation. Um, okay, so just let's. How long have we? How long has this video been going? 30 minutes. Okay, 30 minutes. That's not bad. Just wanted to show you all this. I'm going to put the link in there. If the victim died in custody, was an autopsy, or there's a lot of TIs that have died. Maybe some of if somebody is like a family member of a target individual that died, they could fill this out also. Was the victim examined by a doctor? See, this is the one. Was the victim examined by a doctor at any point during or after his or her ordeal? If so, when? Was the examination performed by a prison or government doctor? So I would talk about Dr. Hoffer. I'd talk about the other neurologist that did the DTI on me and everything like that. The Dr. Hoffer one would be very important because Dr. Hoffer said, yeah, I know that you're being hit with directed energy. It's just not exactly the same as, the exact same signs in your inner ears, the Cuban embassy, the Cuban embassy workers. I'm trying, guys. Man, I am trying. I'm doing really, really bad. Just my brain's doing really, really bad. It's like my brain. I'm not going to go into a bunch of my inner thoughts about like how important the brain is. But y'all remember when I'm always saying, I don't even need my brain. They can just destroy my brain, and I got my heart and everything like that. You need your brain to work. If you're a human being, your brain has to work. And if like somebody's just pumping in microwaves to your head for a decade at least, it's not good. Kind of slows you down. Kind of slows you down a bit. All right, guys. So I'm going to put the link in. I really think it'd be a good idea. And if we have time, if I have time and energy we'll do a working live stream and go through this, but I think we can pretty much get through it. Just answer the questions to the best of your ability. And I think this is going to do another steel pole in the gears, like this. Um, because I do think it will be addressed. I think it has been addressed in human rights councils. He may even addressed it again in another human rights councils, kind of dipping his toe in and dipping his leg in. And that's how, like, even targeted individuals sometimes, like, I didn't do this because, like, I have that thing where I just, like, I don't know, I'm kind of both, but I was really precocious as a kid. This has conditioned me to be a little bit more reserved, especially the mind control. But I think even targeted individuals kind of dip their toe in about talking about this, and then their leg in. So you got to think about the UN and stuff like that. Niels Melzer are approaching this thing and saying cyber torture, people harassing people online, and then there's technologies and AI are coming out that can also be used to hurt people. And he's like dipping his leg in, and he's kind of getting ready, and he's getting everybody kind of warmed up. You know, I hope that's the case. I hope that's the case. But I just think this would be a good idea. Any kind of petitions or anything to Congress, or testimonies to the UN, because we really need the UN to impose sanctions on this technology and sanctions on the torture, and give and like have a stiff penalty, for countries that are torturing their citizens this way. And maybe they can help because the UN has resources. Individual TIs, we don't have a lot of resources, but come up with a lot. They just have to come up with like one good way to determine if somebody's being targeted, right? Jeff sent me something, a patent, and we need to go over that. I'm not sure how real it is. There's a lot of stuff floating around, but it looks pretty real. It's a patent that's been copyrighted. It's a copyrighted patent that says that it can determine if you are being targeted by directed energy, if you are being remote neural monitored, remote neural manipulated. I need to show that to you guys. There's so much information like piling up. I'm doing the best I can, but I'm trying to spin. So I'm going to put this link in the description. I hope you guys are making it through. Um, yeah, so I want to go through this. Maybe I'll talk a little bit now, just kind of like, it does seem like my grandma is like really degrading, so I've got to spend as much time over there, and like it's hard enough for me to just get over there because I'm so tortured and stuff. Dude, we were sitting around for my, oh man, where's that book? My mom got me this book. My mom gets me stuff that like I don't ask for, but she got me this book, and it's like the book full of the most unusual facts. Because I'm always talking to her about this stuff. I guess she thinks I'm interested in stuff like this. I really just have to talk about weird stuff because weird stuff happened to me, and that's just kind of how it progressed. But anyway, I mean, I opened up the book like right when I got it, and I love it. I love all the weird facts. I think it had one where John Wayne's name is like Marion something, like so his name sounds like a girl's name. It has all these weird facts in there. I wish that, like, I got my grounding on, so I don't want to run and get it. But like later that night, so me and my brother cooked steaks, and like later that night, he looks over me and he's like, the big 4-0, the big 3-1, and he goes, it's all downhill from here, and we all kind of started laughing. And what I was thinking in my head is I was like, man, the last 10 years, when the over, it's really longer than that, but I kind of just like that's when I knew I was being targeted, 2011. I was like, the last 10 years have been hell. The world is becoming more aware about these technologies, and it's not going to be downhill for me. These were the kind of the worst, 2011 and 2021. It's kind of the worst for us targeted, or worse for me whenever you guys were targeted. And I think that things can get better. I think an awareness, and where even if things are bizarre in society right now, I've said this a lot, if things are bizarre and bad in society, which is the way they're going, so we need to prepare, we need to cling to God, we need to deal with those things. But it's like, we being targeted individuals, we're going to learn that there's so many more of us, right? There's so many more people getting targeted everywhere in different ways too, but also there's so many target individuals being hit by remote microwaves. things are getting so bizarre that it's like we're not going to really be marginalized. If you tell somebody this, it's not going to be that bizarre because everything's going to be bizarre in society, and people are going to go, yeah, I bet you those MFers up there are doing some crazy stuff like that, right? I think we're past that with some people, and then more and more people every day are like, yeah, everything's corrupt, and yeah, except the really hardcore like sheep people that are very dangerous, and it's almost like there's no glimpse of them even understanding anything, right? And those people, yeah, I don't want to be mean, but who cares about what happens to them? I'm just joking, guys. Um, all right. I hope y'all are doing well. Just want to show you all this, and I'll put the description in there. But yeah, it's overwhelming. I'm overwhelmed. I'll admit it. I'm overwhelmed. But that's why I'm giving it up to God. Um, and you need your if they just like, I mean, it took them so long, and it's not, I'm still fighting it, I'm still fighting, I'm healing up, and it's not, but like some of the remote neural manipulation, it's like these people, this is so, it's so damaging to the brain. Like somebody's pumping in signals and feelings and EEGs to your brain, and gang stalkers will trigger you or whatever, and the triggers, and then they map your brain and they do all this stuff. The that kind of rape, I mean, rape of the mind, the only, oh, I mean, I just I don't under, right, we all don't understand how evil is getting away with this stuff. We understand how it's happening, but it's just unbelievable how bad it is. And it's so unbelievable, and it's this conditioning thing where I've had to go sit with my family so many times for so many birthdays, for holidays, being tortured, having my brain tortured, and it's like they love me, but they can't. And some of them are even targeted and can't understand it. And it's like, because and I'm going through so much, or you guys are going through so much torture, right? But as we go further, more and more torture, where it's like your body can barely move because you're being tortured so bad, and your family's like, when are you going to kind of get out of your funk? When are you going to be successful, right? And I'm scrambling, right, to do something with this, trying to get God's help to do something with this. Um, a lot of targeted individuals are digging, trying to make something out of this horrible thing. It showed me some amazing people. I've seen the most amazing people, um, that I've ever known, the strongest. But so many people are hurting so bad. Let's pray. Let's say a prayer, and then I'm gonna get my strength up. I'm gonna get my health up. I'm trying to eat healthier, and just do it. We just do it. You know. I think I can mumble through stuff good enough. It's just really bad. It's like my brain, my cognitive issues are, I guess, scary, and I'm just trying to trust in God. Um, trust. No, I'm not trying to trust in God. I trust in God. I don't trust people. That's my problem. I trust God. I trust God when people are connected to God. Then I trust people. When people are very spiritual and they see a destiny for people and a divinity to people and they're connected to God, then I'm like, I really trust that person because I know where they stand, right? But if somebody's like I don't know, I can't really think of any situation, but it's just like secular people that are going along with the system or anything, they can do any kind of evil, and you shouldn't trust people that are completely of the system, right? Because the system's saying you can lie now, you can cheat, you can murder, you can do all this stuff, just don't get caught and stuff, and just make sure you're doing it for the tyrannical leadership, right? And it's okay. Um, so it's hard to trust people, but people are spiritual, they're clinging to Christ. Then it's easy. It's easy to trust them. I don't know where that ramble came from. But it's true. Let's pray. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, in the name of Jesus Christ. Dear Lord, please give every targeted individual out there, just every good person in the world, please give them strength. Please just raise good up in the world. Raise good people up. Miracles for good people. It seems sometimes to me like evil is just getting so lucky, and I don't understand. I know there's algorithms and plans and stuff like that, but I know you are stronger, God. So use your divine algorithm that's just so infinite times above what any of these stupid humans on this earth, the evil humans on this earth, are doing. Um, just thank you for our lives, Lord. Please give me strength in the coming days. Please just help my grandmother to have strength and have comfort in the time she's in right now, and when she does pass on, just I know she's gonna go. She's gonna be up there with you. Just give everybody strength and miracles out there. Please bless this bless this application thing, not application thing, but bless this when targeted individuals send it. And please bless all the activities that targeted individuals, that survivors of cyber torture are doing, just anybody making videos, doing activism or anything, any good person fighting tyranny in the world, just bless them. Please just, um, just give us help, but also we praise you and thank you for all that you've given us. You've given us this life, so precious, even when we're targeted. And thank you for letting me know that. That is such a gift that even when we're run down in the secular world, we are still divine. And we still have a lot to give, a lot of love. And just thank you. Thank you for all the men and women who watch my channel. Just protect us, protect them. And let our activities, anything that we're doing to stop evil, uh, be victorious in your name, for your glory. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, in the name of Jesus Christ. All right, guys, so I just wanted to show you all this. I guess it's a little bit of an update too, a little bit of a rambling. Um, Trying to get it straight, get my head on straight, just fight as much as I can. There's this, I've been thinking about this lately. It's weird, like the things that I um, consumed intellectually, I guess not intellectually, but comic books, right? As a kid, there's some weird stuff. It's like there's this one character called Cable, and he has a techno-organic virus. And these were comic books that I was reading like in 1991 or something like that. I didn't think I was targeted back then, but maybe so. But it's just weird, these themes that run through movies and comic books and stuff like that. And so Cable in the movies, I think it's different. I think it's just a metal arm in Deadpool 2. But like in the comic books, it was a techno organic virus like that he was infected with as a baby, like in the future. It's so weird, techno organic, right? Nanoparticulates, nanotechnology, and things like that. And then like later on in the comics, it was like this alternate universe where he existed, but he never was infected with that techno-organic virus. And so, yeah, he was very powerful. He's a powerful psychic or whatever. His mutant powers were just so powerful. He was the most powerful mutant in the world because the techno-organic virus wasn't holding him down. But see, the Cable that did have that, he had more discipline. He had earned his survival more, and he could make better decisions. Him without the stuff was like wild and did the wrong thing and hurt people and stuff like that. And it's just kind of weird. It's weird the things you come up with against in your life, like reading things and things you're drawn to, and then you look at the situation you're in. You're like, was God? Was this creation that's a simulation? Was it kind of giving me a trail of breadcrumbs in my past? Wolverine, the first comic book that I ever read. I have Wolverine 1 through 100. He's has a healing factor. He was mind controlled in a mind control program. He has to like heal up, and then okay, I won't go into the too much nerd comic book stuff, but it's just weird, like mind implants, like from Weapon X and stuff like that. And it's like I'm reading that when I'm a little kid, and I'm like, oh, mind control, that's so fantasy. That's like so, oh, like you could put some visual in somebody's head with a feeling with it or something like that. They put whole scenarios in Wolverine's head, right? I mean, some people have seen the movies, right? But like in the comic books, it's a lot. They go into it a lot, like putting what do they call it? I guess memory implants. They put memory implants, so he's not sure which memories are real and which ones are fake. And, you know, I'm not there yet. Thank you God, I'm not there yet. I know it's real. I know it's real still. I do know it's real. This targeting is really bad. And I just mentioned it's stuff I think about that it's like, they read techno organic virus. You know, reading that when I was a kid, and now like I probably have nanotechnology, Morgellons inside, like everybody in the world does, and it kind of holds us down. We've got to become more resourceful. We've got to become soldiers. It's not just, you know, it's not just me. It's not just you freely with so much energy and stuff. We've got to have discipline and be a soldier about it. Those two, I don't know, just thinking about that. Just thinking about that. It's weird. It's weird how um, the circle of life. It's so weird, the circle. Okay, I'm going to stop rambling, guys. Um, I'm gonna stop rambling. I love you guys. I'll be back soon with something, maybe some short videos for a while. I need to get on here with Jeff. He's sending me a bunch of good information, and I'd just like to get on a live stream and kind of hang out with him. But it like, you know, the mind control is very bad, and it makes me feel a little bit more secure to make a video like this. And if the mind control is really bad, and I start rambling, and there, because that's kind of the mind control, guys. That's part of the mind control for me. They'll make me say stuff, and then I'm like, oh, too much information, blah blah blah. You know, so being on like a 4 hour live stream, and then I'm going off on all these tangents with the remote neural manipulation. My attackers are trying, you know, I'm not even sure how they're trying to get me sometimes, because they've been doing this for so long, you know, the human operator, and then making the automated systems do so much of it. But there's a human hand on mine. There's this evil ingenuity that an AI could not do in a timing of specific things where I do, you know, I'm 100% sure I have human operators on with the automated systems doing most of the stuff, but then they have this this weird, very evil ingenuity that I do not think the AI could have. I don't know if you got if any of you other target individuals kind of yeah, I think a lot of y'all would understand what I'm talking about. All right, guys, I love y'all, and I will definitely see you on the next one. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. It probably soon. Probably soon we'll do live stream. I'll talk to Jeff. I'm just gotta find those little pockets of energy, right? When I'm feeling good. It's gotten really bad for me, and I don't mean to complain. I just want to explain. I don't want to complain. I just want to explain. Um, you know. So I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. We're gonna do stuff. We're gonna get information out. But old Kyle's got to deal with some stuff. And so many targeted individuals speaking out on Twitter, on YouTube, on other. I think Odyssey is the good one. High Impact Vlog says Odyssey is good. I trust him. He's like a social media, like he knows how to work social media. So I think Odyssey's a good one. I have BitChute and DLive. What I might just do I might just have all DLive, BitChute, Odyssey in this one. We'll see if I can work that. We'll see if I can upload all of them. Maybe focus. This is what I was thinking. Maybe focus on YouTube. Then we'll do some like movie stuff. We're still gonna do some of that stuff. It's just taking me a while. If you ask anybody who's like a who knows me, they're like, yeah, Kyle probably will do stuff, but he's gonna say he does it, and it's gonna take a long time. And I do blame this targeting for that. I do. I do. But I gotta just, we just gotta do it anyway, right? All right, guys, I love y'all. Hope y'all are doing good. Hope y'all are doing well. Hope you're getting through this. There's a lot of big stuff coming out. Let's, you know, let's keep going. I love y'all. Just stay strong. All right, and I'll see you on the next one. Love you guys.